We're on board Royal Caribbean's massive Legend of the Seas for a full tour. This record-breaking megaship holds over 10,000 people and has over 40 bars, restaurants and entertainment venues.
And it even features the largest water park at sea.
And we're walking through every inch of the ship and sharing our honest thoughts and top tips with you. Quick heads up, this video is brought to you by Squarespace. Well, ahoy there cruisers, and welcome to this full ship tour. Let's get started straight away. So, you've just entered the ship. This is the part where you walk on, and the first thing that you're going to see is the Pearl. Now, the Pearl is a 3-story sculpture with lots of lights. It's a great place for a photo spot as well. But the Pearl here on the Legend of the Seas is very different to the Pearls on the last two ships, the Icon and Star of the Seas, just because they've upgraded it. They've added more lights, they've added some interactive screens into it as well, so it looks absolutely magnificent. It is just beautiful. It's shimmering with colour. It's just absolutely huge, and like I said, the perfect spot for a beautiful photo. There's a Legend sign at the bottom as well where you can get all of your selfies, but this is the moment where you get onto the ship and you are like, whoa, this is crazy. You basically walked into a massive shopping mall with lots of restaurants and bars and things to do. There's music and lights, and it's the moment where you get the first impression of the ship, and I have to say, it really is impressive. It's absolutely beautiful.
Hi guys, throughout this tour we're going to be using our microphones, holding them up because it is quite loud on here. There's lots of loud music and things. Anyway, so let's kick off the tour. At the very back of the ship on deck 5, so that's just left of the Pearl, we have the main dining rooms. These are over 3 decks. They're really pretty, and this is the complimentary option, so that means there is no extra charge to dine in there. It's open for breakfast, lunch on a sea day, and also for all your evening dinners. And every night the menu does change as well. You can see the menu outside, or you can check the actual Royal Caribbean app. It'll show you the menu for that evening if you wanted to check out what was for dinner that night. And you can also make reservations in there as well, or you can choose set time. So that's where you choose a set time where you'll get the same table and the same server throughout your cruise. Now, as we're walking through, we have the next cruise desk. That's where you can book your next cruise while you're on board. They do different deals and stuff in there. You can make an appointment or just go in and see if they've got availability to chat. And then we also have some cute little bits in the middle. I really like all the different pieces of artwork. We have got a twisted telephone box, which is an homage to our next venue just next door. And we also have a huge statue of a dog. Now, there is a dog on board called Skipper. I don't think that's quite it because that's blooming big. But this is some of the artwork and stuff that you see around the ship, and that's really cool. And there's going to be tons more as we walk around. And it's just very quirky and gives it like lots of life and stuff, which I really like. Back to that twisted phone box. It's because it's next door to the British style pub. It's called the Ale and Arrow. It's a proper British pub. It has live music in there at certain times of the day. It's got games like darts and things like that. Lots of different ales on tap as well. And it's a really cool space. I do like it in there. Feels very British.
Yeah, then you see the full Royal Promenade, and it is quite spectacular. It really is. It's the biggest ship in the world, and it shows here because this space is gigantic. It is just massive, and I don't know if the camera's capturing it or not, but it's so beautiful. It really is quite colourful and lovely and just gorgeous. We're just going to walk a little bit further around to the left now from the pub, and you have guest services. This is the place you come if you have any issues on your cruise at all. So if there's any issues with the billing on your cruise, if you have any complaints or anything like that, you can just come here. There's also some stairs going up to the next level of the Royal Promenade, because the Royal Promenade is over decks 5 and 6. So you can get up there if you wish. And then just next door to guest services, you have Treasure Chest. And I think this is a brand new shop that we haven't seen on a Royal Caribbean ship before. It's a little shop with teddy bears and little things like that. But yeah, something brand new for the ship. We're going to be talking about all of the new things on the ship, which is very cool indeed, and there are lots of them, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I love just walking through this area. It's a great place to come, people watch, just watch what everybody's doing, grab a coffee, maybe grab a snack or drink in one of the bars, and it really is lovely. Now, there is a bit of noise, so there's noise from all of the different venues, and it does tend to blend in a little bit, and it can be quite annoying sometimes and a little bit overwhelming. Like David said, that's why we're using the the mics because we don't want to get a copyright strike and we want to sound nice and clear. Then just next to the pub you've got 1400, and this is one of the bars on board. It's very lovely, and just by that you actually have escalators to the gangway. Now the gangway is where you get on and off the ship. That's very cool. You don't tend to see them very often on cruise ships these days, which is very cool. But 1400 is a lovely little cocktail bar. They've got a great menu, and what's really nice about this ship, which some of the other Royal Caribbean ships can suffer from, there's great big windows, so that's really nice, so you can see outside to the sea, because you're on a cruise, aren't you, so you do want to see that. But yeah, lots of nice cocktails and things that can be bought from here. Then right next door to that you have Starbucks. Yes, so you're on board Starbucks. Now this is just like a regular Starbucks on land, but it's on a ship instead. One thing that we've noticed is that they don't have the cups, so the Starbucks mugs, which is a bit of a shame because we do like to collect those. All of the pricing is separate and they're not included in any drinks package.
Yes, just walking over across the Royal Promenade to the giant Crown and Anchor logo, which is the outside the Royal Caribbean logo shop. Actually, it's a lot bigger, and they are getting bigger and bigger because the merch is getting more and more popular. They do tons of stuff in there, stuff just for Legend of the Seas, bits for the cruise that we're on, so inspired by the Mediterranean. So it does tend to change depending on where you're sailing. Behind the Pearl, it's a little bit of a secret gem because there's quite a little bit of seating down here, some sort of comfortable chairs and little sofa bits, and there's a couple of desks as well. This is where you can order your photos, so you don't actually have to do it in person because you can actually do it on the app as well. You can see your cruise photos while you're on the app. And that is also looking out onto the promenade area again, so we're getting some lovely windows. There is seating outside as well, and the running track, so you can run around the full ship to get your steps in, which is really cool because we do like a promenade deck, and that's a nice little walking / running track.
What's really lovely is that they often have live music here in the Royal Promenade. At the moment we've got kind of a string quartet. How lovely is that? So we're just going to walk to the other side of the Royal Promenade so you can see that huge pearl behind us. It is absolutely massive and very impressive, like we've mentioned a few times. To the right hand side you've got a shop called The Collection. I think this is a shop with lots of fancy bags and things like that. And then on the left side you've got something brand new. I need to go have a look at what this is. It looks like a little caravan or little trailer parked in the middle of the Royal Promenade. It's called Etched and Aged, so it looks like a little shop. That's very cool. I haven't seen that before on any other Icon class ship, so that's brand new. Right next to that you've got the Spotlight karaoke bar, and it's what the name shows, so you'll find things like trivia in here, obviously karaoke, which is always a lot of fun, and you can just come and grab a drink in there if you want as well. Now it isn't the biggest venue that I've seen on a cruise ship before, especially because this ship does hold 7,000 people. That is an awful lot of people, so it does tend to get very busy on some cruises. Now on the opposite side of the Spotlight karaoke bar you've got Sorrento's Pizza. Now this is the complimentary pizzeria on board, so you can come in here and grab a pizza whenever you like. It's open till very late on an evening and it's great for a quick snack. There's some seating out the front as well, so if you want to have it here, you can do. Top tip, if you want a full pizza, you can ask for one and they'll give you it in a box, so you can take it back to your room, or after a hangover, might be a good idea. Just next to that, you've got some shops, Regalia Fine Jewellery, and a beauty shop selling all of your beauty products. So that's basically it for deck number 5 on the Royal Promenade. Let's go look at what's on the other side, toward the front of the ship.
Yeah, so at the very front of the ship, we have the massive 2-story Royal Theatre. Honestly, I think it might be one of the biggest theatres that we've seen on a cruise ship. It's huge and it shows some great shows. On this ship, they're showing the full-length Broadway or West End musical Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We've actually already seen it. It's really good. The sets are huge. It's really impressive, and it is a full-length production. They even pump chocolate smells in. That's really cool, isn't it? They also have different shows in there. They'll have visiting acts, so it's singers, comedians, and things like that.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace, and this one's easy for us to talk about because we genuinely use it every single day. What started as cruise videos for fun slowly turned into, well, a real thing, a business. Squarespace makes it ridiculously easy to monetize your content. You could create members-only content, things like blogs, videos, or guides, and decide whether that's a one-off purchase post or a subscription. What's best is that everything lives in one place. Website, content, sign-ups, payments, all under one roof. And then advertise your content with Squarespace email campaigns. And the design side? Well, it just looks good, whether you're on a laptop or a phone. It feels polished and intentional, which matters when you want people to trust what you're building. If you've got an idea, passion project, or something you've been meaning to put into the world, go to squarespace.com for a free 14-day trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ben and David to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Now, if you do want to go see any of the big shows in the Royal Theatre, we definitely recommend that you make reservations. You can do this before your cruise even starts using the Royal Caribbean Cruise Planner on the Royal Caribbean website, or you can use the Royal Caribbean app. We definitely recommend downloading those just because they'll make your cruise go so much easier and make sure you get everything booked, not just the shows, but things like places where you want to eat, specialty restaurants, things like that is definitely a big recommendation. Now, just literally next to the Royal Theatre on the lower level, you have the music hall, and this is a 2-story venue. So it's kind of a little bit like a nightclub, really. That's what I would really call it. It is quite cool in here. There's a bar. You'll find things like live music and live bands, which is really cool. We've seen some really good performances in here. You'll also have silent discos, things like trivia. It's a multi-purpose venue, really. It's a really big space that's used for lots of live entertainment, which is fabulous. But yeah, it's a really cool space. And honestly, it is tucked away, so some people don't even find this place. It's crazy because this ship is so big that it takes like 5 or 6 days just to really get around and find everything. How crazy is that? It is like no other. It is like a floating city, but a very cool one at that.
So connected to the music hall is the Casino Royale. This is a massive casino. In here there is tons of different types of casino games. You've got lots and lots of machines. You also have tables as well, plus there is a bar in here, and it's actually over 2 levels, so there is a smaller lower level to this casino with additional games and additional machines and a bar as well.
Feels like I've been walking through this casino for about 3 days. It literally does take up the entirety of the deck. It is huge. Never really been to a casino before. We don't really do the casino on our cruises. Is it a bit of a spiral down once you start, guys? I don't know, but yeah, it is huge. It is literally like being in Las Vegas. And then once we get to the very end of the ship, so this is the back of the ship, we have that lower level of the dining room that David showed you earlier on. We have to talk about something. The elevators or the lifts on board. Now, these are pretty cool, and there's lots of them. Just in the elevator bank at the back of the ship, how many are there? 3, 6, 9, 12 elevators, and it uses a touchscreen system. So you basically just hit the deck that you want to go to, and it'll tell you the exact elevator letter to head to. It's very cool. Now, it does get very busy, so sometimes you do have to wait. You've also got the stairs to go up, but it is a lot of decks sometimes. Imagine going from deck 4 to deck 16 or 17. That's like 15 decks. How crazy is that? So if you do want to get some exercise, it's a really good idea, but it just kind of gives you a scale of the ship and how big it is. But we find that the elevator system does work really, really well. Right, let's head up to the upper level of the Royal Promenade, deck number 6.
So we've came up to deck 6 now, and if you are wondering, yeah, we did take the stairs. Now, walking towards the promenade area again, there's loads of that artwork around the ship, and right above me is a gigantic red aeroplane. How cool is that? Now, heading back in towards the promenade, but now we're on the upper level, and here you actually get to see it and from its full scale. It's also a really good spot here for pictures if you did want to come up here to get some pictures of the promenade, because one thing I really like is the roof. It has coloured lights on it, and it changes as well throughout the day, so it looks super cool. Now, let's see what else we've got up here. So to my left, we're now heading into one of the many bars that are along this promenade. This one is called Boleros. Now, this one is the Latin inspired bar. In here they do lots of Latin music on an evening, and they also do things like dance classes and stuff like that. I really like the theme in here. It's all greens and browns, dark woods, and it also has some windows to the outside, so you can come in here during the day as well if you just want to relax.
So outside of Bolero's, there's some extra seating if you do want to watch people watch on the Royal Promenade. Just next door, we have something that we really love because it includes one of our favourite things. Yes, coffee. It's the coffee shop. It's called the Pearl Cafe, and it's called the Pearl Cafe because it's at the top of the Pearl, and it's really lovely in here. There are massive windows looking out at the sea, which we really do like, and a fantastic view into the Pearl from the other side, which is very lovely. But obviously, it's a cafe, so you're going to find things like snacks. So they have sandwiches and cakes and little bits to eat and pick up. It's all quick service, so you just really help yourself, and you can obviously get coffees here for an extra charge. They do hot bites, cold bites throughout breakfast and lunch and dinner, so it's really open at all hours, which is fabulous. Just next door to the Pearl Cafe, you've got a help yourself service station for all of your drinks, so cold beverages and hot beverages. And what's really cool on these new ships is that they've got these fancy little machines that dispense different types of juices and water, coffee, decaf, as well as a selection of tea. Scattered all around the ship, you're going to find these Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. So if you've got one of the drinks packages, you can use your cup here and select from thousands of different flavours of soda. So treat yourself. The kids are going to go wild. Now there is a cheeky set of stairs here as well, which go up to another one of the neighbourhoods on board. This goes up to Central Park. So if you do want a little bit of a shortcut, you can go up there. Right, let's go see what's on the other side.
So switching over to the other side of the Royal Promenade, we have the Schooner Bar. This is a nautical themed bar. You'll find this on quite a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships, and it's lots of dark woods again. Lots of cocktails, particularly rum-based cocktails in here. It also has live piano music. Now, one unique little thing in here is that there is a ship model of Legend of the Seas, but not this one, the original Legend of the Seas that was built in 1997. So you can actually see that over there, because they reused the name for this big Legend of the Seas. Now everything along this Royal Promenade is like open plan and it's connected, so you can walk between the different venues. So as we left Schooner Bar, we've now continued along and now we're in Giovanni's. So this is one of the extra charge venues. It's called a specialty restaurant, so it is an extra fee to come and dine here. This is the Italian restaurant. It serves pizzas, pastas, all your Italian favourites and things like that. Very tasty food though. We do enjoy Giovanni's. It also has a bar, so you can choose to either sit at the tables, which have some great window views, or around the bar as well, overlooking the Royal Promenade.
This is so cool. Just stood up on the second level looking down at the Pearl and all of the different places on board. I still can't get over it. We've been so lucky enough to do over 100 cruises now, and it's crazy. But yeah, it is very, very noisy. It's one thing. So if you don't like noise on your cruise, this cruise ship is probably not for you. But if you do want something that's full of things to do, lots of entertainment, and you're never going to be bored, it's definitely for you. We really do enjoy it. Couples enjoy it. Families really enjoy it because it's got some great kids clubs as well. We don't really usually go into the kids clubs, guys, but there is lots on board this type of ship for all ages of children. As we walk further down, we're coming up to another one of the entertainment / bar venues. This one's called Dueling Pianos, and like the name suggests, it's two pianos dueling against each other. The only thing that I would say about this, it's an amazing show, really fantastic, and we really highly recommend going to see it. Just get there nice and early because it is very, very small. A ship of over 7,000 passengers, and there must be maybe 150 seats in there, so it does get very busy. People come spewing out into the hallways out here, so it does get busy. If you do want a seat, you're going to have to get there nice and early. Now, something brand new. We've got Legend Station, the Royal Railway. This is a brand new dining restaurant here on Legend of the Seas, and it looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to be eating here on our cruise, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button. It's an extra charge and it doesn't come cheap. We'll fill you in on that later on, but it's a whole experience. We have to say a big thank you to our patrons as well at this time as well, because we self-fund most of our trips like this. We paid for this trip ourselves, and you guys really help us by being able to create videos that are honest, entertaining, hopefully a little bit fun. You too can find out about becoming a patron in the description section below. In return, we give you lots of things like early access and ad-free access to our videos. We create videos just for our patrons, so full-length vlogs that nobody else gets to see. Plus we do things like a monthly video chat and much more. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world to us.
Finally, as we leave the Royal Promenade and head towards the front on deck 6, we have 2 more small venues that might actually pass you by. One of them is the Crown Lounge. So if you're a member of the Loyalty Club here on board and you get up to a certain level of diamond and above, you get access to the Crown Lounge. And in there is a little bar. It's only open during the happy hour times, and it also has snacks throughout the day and a coffee shop. And then they have the escape room, which is an additional charge option, so you can book that on the Royal Caribbean app, and it's a fun escape room.
Definitely getting our steps in today. The ship really is insane. We're going to go all the way back to the aft of the ship here on deck 6 and show you what's there, because it's a different neighbourhood. So I don't think we've mentioned it yet, but the ship is broken up into 8 different neighbourhoods. Yes, it's that big that they've had to split it, which is completely bonkers. So let's go to the very back and show you what's there. The trek is over. So nestled in between 2 different neighbourhoods, so Surfside, which we're going to show you next, and the Royal Promenade, we have a little shop called Stitch It, Patch It, Pin It, Market. Basically, it's like a little sticker shop, loads of little things like that. Then at the back of that, we have Playmakers. Now, this is the bar, so like the pub, the sports pub on board, or sports bar, depending on where you are in the world. And it's really cool. They show things like live music. It's currently the World Cup whilst we're sailing on Legend of the Seas at the moment, and they're showing all of those matches. It's a great place. You've got lots of games, so things like foosball and pool, and you can also order food in here for an extra charge. So kind of like sports bar bites, things like that, chicken wings, onion rings, all of that stuff, but it is an extra charge. It is very good, and we definitely recommend the s'mores dessert. It is very lovely, but it's a big space. It's always very busy. You've got the owner's box as well, which is something you can pay extra for to have a little private room to watch your sports. It's a very small space. I don't really get the point in that. Then at the very back, we've got something very cool. It's called Absolute Zero. This is the ice skating arena on board. Yeah, you heard me right. Ice skating on a cruise ship, and it's very cool. So not only do they have an amazing show here, which is shown throughout your cruise, another one that you must book if you want to go see it. There are walk-ins, so there are standby lines. If you don't get a booking, you can wait just before, and I think about 15 minutes before they open up the doors to everyone. And if there is any space, that's a big if, they'll let you in. But this is a really cool space. You can also do some ice skating in here as well. So yeah, Torval and Dean from the UK. I don't know if you're going to get that reference if you're not from the UK, but they're very big famous skaters. But yeah, it's a really cool place and something that's very unique to Royal Caribbean. Right, I think we're going to go show you Surfside, which is just basically next door now.
Right, so our next neighbourhood is going to be Surfside. We've came outside to the very back of the ship. This area is absolutely full of life. It's fun, it's bright, it's colourful, and it's all aimed at children and families. So as you enter, you can actually get to Surfside from different decks. You can choose to take the stairs, or you could take a slide down onto the Surfside area. And it is so bright in here. They've got lots and lots of different things, including a gigantic flamenco. Treat yourself, guys. Around here we also have an arcade. Now they are all extra charges in there, so all the machines and the games do charge to your stateroom, so make sure you do keep an eye on the kids' accounts. And then we have Surfside Eatery. This is a complimentary buffet, and it's all aimed at families, so the type of food in there is aimed at things that everybody in the family will love.
Yeah, this place is very, very colourful. It's like Crayola, threw up all over the place. It's crazy, but yeah, there's lots of things for the kids to do here, which is fabulous. We've even got a little carousel, and this one's different to the Oasis class ships. It's a little bit smaller, maybe for the younger kids. We've got a shop called Sugar Beach, which is a candy shop. Just what kids need, eh? Thanks to Royal Caribbean for putting that there. We know our nephews would love it. All an extra charge. Then just around the corner from that, we've got Sprinkles. Now this is the soft serve ice cream, and it's complimentary, so you can fill up on ice cream whenever you want. You also have the Surfside Bites, which is a little fast food place doing things like popcorn chicken, hot dogs, pizza toasties, and French fries. It's great for a quick snack. Just opposite that, we've got a little play area for the very little ones with some slides and little things to play with. Our nephews would really love it here. But yeah, it is pretty insane when you're looking around this space, because you just really do get the scale of how big it is. It is just so tall. You can see the water slides on the upper decks that we're going to show you around in a little while. It's very cool, guys.
As we walk to the back of the Surfside area, don't worry, parents, because there is a bar bar here. There's the Lemon Post bar, and then next to that is a huge kids play area, and it's a splash and play zone. It's really popular with families down here, and there's little pools, there is some sunbathing areas, and what I quite like about this area is that it is kind of shaded, so if you do have little ones, you are in the shade most of the day. There's also a small little restaurant at the back here called Pier 17. You might actually miss it if you don't know it's there. It's California inspired food, but it is an extra cost. However, kids under 12 do eat here for free. But yeah, this area, very loud, very busy during the day, especially with families. It does quieten down on a night though, of course, when all the families are not out and playing and stuff. So it is a fun little area for all the family.
Oh, here we go. So the big kids can come on the carousel as well. It's for everyone. Yeah, very, very fun indeed, guys. You should have saw me trying to get on here. Anyway, you also have cabins around here which look inwards, so they don't look at the ocean. They're called Surfside view cabins. So there's a few different ones. You've got suites, you've got balcony cabins. It's very cool. So yeah, it's a different option if you want something a little bit cheaper. They tend to be a little bit cheaper than those facing the ocean. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Got to try everything once, don't you? And you don't pay anything extra to come on here, so why not?
Even adults can act like big kids sometimes. And I like how these are all duck themed, like cruise ducks. Because if you didn't know, people like to come on Royal Caribbean ships and hide ducks. So Royal Caribbean has really gone with that, and there's ducks everywhere now on the ship, which is really funny. Oh, blooming heck. Blooming heck. It was easier getting on because I was low down, but getting off I was at the top. Thank you. That's why it's made for kids and not adults.
Oh, so let's go somewhere a little bit calmer, a little bit more serene. Welcome to Central Park. So this takes up the whole of the middle of deck 8. So we've came up a few decks, and it really is lovely, guys. I still can't get over that they've got parks on cruise ships, and these plants are real. Over 30,000 of them. Trees, plants, flowers. It smells lovely, and they even pump through the sounds of insects and birds. They're not real, but I can forgive them for that because it is very lovely. Again, you've got cabins which look into the Central Park area, and you'll often find that they are a little bit cheaper than the ocean view ones again. So if you are on a bit of a budget, you can grab one of those, and they look into this lovely area. And it's like being in a resort, I guess, on land. First up, as you enter, you've got Lou's, which is one of the bars on board. It's kind of like a jazz club. You can have live music here, so they've got a band, a bar, lots of seating, and it's a more adult vibe than where we've just been on Surfside. On the other side of that, you've got some shops, the very posh shops, far too expensive for us. Things like Cartier, Breitling, Tag Heuer. Treat yourself. Very nice indeed. But just walking through it here is really lovely. It's so chilled out, so relaxing, and it's a great space to be. You've also got a little bar which is called Bubbles. Now this is like a champagne bar, so it's like a window rather than a bar, and it's very lovely. All around this area you're going to have beautiful flowers and really nice sculptures. It is very lovely indeed.
One thing I really like is all the little different seating areas. So they have lots of different types of seats. So there's some benches and little tables and rocking chairs that are like tucked away in the corner, which is really nice. Also, I can currently hear the music coming from the pool deck, but they actually do have music along Central Park as well on an evening. So they play things like harpists, live bands and things like that. So it is a lovely place to come out, relax, maybe grab a book, chill out, read, or come and listen to some of the live bands. Now we're coming up to another complimentary dining venue, so included in the price of the cruise, and it's Park Cafe. It's open for breakfast and lunch, and it serves like quick bites like sandwiches. You can make your own salad in there. They have complimentary drinks like the complimentary juices, the waters, the coffee, things like that. They have the Coke freestyle machines in there, and it's a great alternative again to the buffet. We do particularly like it because you can grab your food in there. You can eat inside. It is air conditioned in there, on a hot day like today it's probably best, but you can take it elsewhere as well, which is really great.
I don't think it's until you're on board that you get an idea of how big the scale of this thing is. Just looking up to the top, she is huge. Love all of the colourful blinds and artwork and paintings. It really is lovely. Coming up now towards the end, the other end of Central Park, we have the Trellis Bar. Now this is one of our favourite haunts. It's very lovely indeed. It's just like an outdoor bar serving cocktails, things like that. Very nice indeed. You've also got, just ahead of that, Azumi in the Park. So this is the kind of teppanyaki restaurant / Asian restaurant. There's two parts to this. There's a little window outside which sells things like sushi, dumplings and bubble cones, so some ice cream. We've tried those before and they're very lovely. Then you've got the actual restaurant part as well. So you've got those teppanyaki tables, which is like dinner and a show with your chef cooking food for you. And you can also order a la carte in there as well. Extra charge, and of course, again, if you want to eat there, you're going to have to make reservations, and we recommend doing that nice and early. But it's a lovely little restaurant. Very nice indeed. And then another restaurant, and this one is an extra charge as well. Don't worry, there are plenty of places to eat included in the price of your cruise as well. This one is Chops Grill, so it's a Royal Caribbean favourite. It's the American Steakhouse. Again, reservations are needed, and it's a lovely little restaurant. You can choose to eat al fresco outside, which would be very nice indeed, or you can eat inside the restaurant, which is great. And they've got like a little show thing with all of the different types of meat, so you can see what part of the cow you're going to be eating. Very nice indeed. But yeah, that's it for Central Park. A really nice, bright, colourful area. Yeah, love it. It's fabulous. So I think David mentioned it earlier on with people ducking just about everywhere, hiding their ducks. There is strictly no ducking here in the park. You're not allowed to hide ducks in the plants because you might ruin them, so keep that in mind.
So also on Deck 8, just off the Central Park next to the elevator lobby, is the Hollywood Supper Club. This is another extra charge restaurant, and it's quite an expensive one. On this cruise, it was over $200 each, so we've never actually tried it ourselves, so we don't know exactly what it is like, but it is a dinner show, and it also includes a wine or cocktail pairing, I do believe. So yeah, that is an extra option for you, and it is an additional cost. Again, you can book all this on the app. That one does tend to sell out a lot, so if you do want to do it, do make sure you book it as soon as you can. We do advise you do it before your cruise.
Yep, and no chance we're going to be taking these stairs. So let's go all the way up to the outdoor decks. Let's go to deck 16. Let's do it. Oh, we're here. How fabulous is that? We're at sea. We've got the luck with us this time, because sometimes you've got to sprint across to make it in time. It's quite funny. Still keep getting lost. Been on this type of ship quite a few times, and I still don't know where things are. We're on deck 15, not deck 16, because I want to show you another of the neighbourhoods. This one is called the AquaDome, and it consists of a few different venues within here that are very, very cool, and it is unique, which is one of the things I love about it. As you walk in, you'll see the stadium area, which we'll show you in a little bit, or the water arena maybe, and then you've got a shop which sells things that you can buy. Extra things if you want to spend even more money. But one thing that we really do love is the AquaDome market. So this is kind of like a buffet, kind of food stands. And on this ship, they are different to the other cruise ships. So different from the Icon and the Star. Well, apart from the little crepe place, we've got several different outlets to eat. You have Soulmate, which is the South Korean place, which is very lovely. You've got Cajun Kitchen for your gumbo and Cajun foods. Adobo, which is your Mexican style eatery. You've got things like corn tortillas and side salads, chicken and pork. Then you've got Española, which is the Spanish style eating with little tapas plates like patatas bravas and sandwiches. And you've also got the Simply Pressed. So this is like a juice place where you've got to pay extra for. So things like fruit juices and smoothies, but it's a great place. They've also got a drink station in there, which is great. So you can help yourself to teas, coffees, waters, juices, and that's all complimentary. So everything in there is complimentary. It's open through the day into the evening, and it's a great place for a snack or a lighter meal. It's very good. And if you don't want it to be lighter, go for like 3 or 4 of them like we did the other day. Very nice.
In this AquaDome area, on the opposite side to the AquaDome market, we have another restaurant. This one is called Hooked. It's a seafood restaurant. It is an additional cost though, so it does come with an extra charge. I do like the decor in there though, and particularly the fact that it's got huge windows, which is really nice. And then tucked away with inside Hooked is another place called Celebration Table. This is like a chef's table sort of experience. Again, an extra cost, and you can book that out. A huge, big, long dining table, which is pretty cool. Now, both of these venues overlook this central area called the Aqua Theatre. This is where they do this amazing show, and it's got acrobats, it's got divers and swimmers. It really is something to be seen, and to think that this is on a cruise ship is pretty awesome. So we do strongly recommend that you do book this, because this theatre is much smaller than it was on the Oasis class ships, and it's a really popular show. So make sure you do book it as soon as you can. You can do it on the Royal Caribbean website before you even cruise.
So coming into one of my favourite areas on the entire ship, and this is lovely. It's at the very front of the AquaDome, and it's called the Overlook. As you walk in, you've got the Rye and Bean coffee shop. It's not just a coffee shop, actually. They do cocktails in here, so tea and coffee cocktails. I think we tried on one of our last cruises, and I can't remember it being particularly nice. But yeah, the Overlook is a really nice, air-conditioned, especially nice on a hot day, area at the very front of the ship. And like the name, the AquaDome, you're in the dome, so it's really beautiful in here. It's so bright. You have amazing views of everything all around you. So whilst you're at sea, it's very lovely, and equally once you're in port, it's nice. There's loads and loads of comfortable seats, so sofas and chairs and lounges. There's a big bar in the middle. You've got some little screens with scenes of underwater creatures and reefs, and it really is lovely. It's a really nice, relaxing space, and probably one of the quietest spaces on board, because this ship is very big, very busy, always has lots of children. It's a noisy ship. So if you do want somewhere to relax and take it easy, this spot is really great. It's probably one of the few spots on board where you will get a bit of quiet. It really expands all across the front of the ship as well. You have little pods in the sky, which is really nice. And one little touch which is lovely is that lots of the seats have chargers, so USB chargers and plugs, so you can plug in your laptop, do some work if you want to do that, charge your devices, which is really nice. So that's a thoughtful touch if you want to spend a few hours in here. But I really like it. I really like all of the greenery and just how bright and lovely it is. So it feels like you're outside, but you're not. So that's it. That's the AquaDome. It's a really lovely space. Now let's take you outside.
So before we head outside, on deck 15 we have the Windjammer Marketplace, and this is the main buffet on board. It's open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it has a huge different selection of food, and it's quite expansive actually. So as you go in, again they've got tons of different types of food, hot options, cold options, and stuff that everybody would like really, and different types of seating, so there's plenty of seating in there. They also have a bar if you wanted to buy drinks, and they have drink stations with teas, coffees, juices and waters. It does get busy in there at certain times of the day, particularly for breakfast and when people are tending to come back from excursions. So we do recommend going first thing or a little bit later on just to avoid those crowds.
So the next area is Chill Island. So this is one of the other neighbourhoods, and this basically makes up most of the outdoor areas. So it's a giant area, different pools, different hot tubs, lots of places to eat. We'll have a little bit of a walk around. So first up you've got El Loco Fresh, which is the Mexican quick service diner where you can grab a bite to eat Mexican style. There's a bar in there, which is great. Then just at the front of that, there's loads of sun lounges and comfortable seats and pods, things just to relax and take that sunshine in. What's really cool about this whole outdoor area is that it's all kind of spread across different decks. So it's all on different layers. You'll find little nooks and crannies with their odd hot tub and little pool area. You'll find bars. You've got the lime and the coconut bar, which kind of spreads across two different decks, and there's kind of about 3 or 4 bars from the lime and the coconut. You can grab your favourite cocktail or drink from here. There's also a slide, which is fabulous, a little kid slide. Do beware though, this gets very hot in the summer. You can also pay for a castita as well. This is your own little bed and little seating area. It is very expensive. I wouldn't really recommend it because of the price. You can get plenty of sun lounges and places to chill even when it's busy. There's still lots and lots of room. Loads of places to relax, which is very lovely indeed. Also featuring the biggest pool in the ocean. So you've got the biggest swimming pool, and it's massive. Now, when we filmed our actual ship tour, it was very quiet, but at the moment it looks a little bit like people soup, and I'm not very keen on the colour of that water, so it's not somewhere I would go. You also get a great view into Central Park, so you can look right down onto those cabins again, into the park area, and get a really lovely view. But yeah, it's a great area with loads of space and loads of little areas to chill out and relax. There's also a small smoking area as well, just next to Thrill Island, somewhere that we're going to show you in a few moments. So if you do smoke, this is the area you'll come and do that.
This outdoor space, it's extremely bright, it's extremely colourful, and I quite like it. I think it really reflects what this cruise line is about. It's for fun, families, and I think that reflects it. It might not be to everybody's taste, but I do quite like it. And it's always got music going on as well, which again might not be for everybody, but it is fun. So there is a live band currently on. Now, on the opposite side of Chill Island, we have an adults only pool. This one is called the Swim and Tonic. Now, it's actually a swim-up bar, so I quite like that. It's a fun name, a play on a gin and tonic. It does get busy though, it is very popular. You also do have an extra hot tub here as well, plus more of those casitas that you can hire.
So one other area within Chill Island is Cloud 17, and this is just another stretch, so it's the highest level of the pool area. Lots of seating, lots of sun lounges. You've got a nice long pool where you can do laps in there, looking off to the end of the ship, so it's a little bit like an infinity pool. You've got lots of sun lounges and also a bar, which is again the lime and coconut, so that has lots of different outlets on the different decks, but it is a really nice relaxing space to chill out, and you get some great views across the ship. I just can't believe how big it is. It is absolutely bonkers. It's massive. Lots of areas with different hot tubs. There's also some sunbathing areas both in the shade and out of the shade, but there is plenty of room. And one thing that we've not seen is a lack of sunbeds. On some cruises it's really awful and there isn't enough sunbeds for everybody, but we've never seen that ever be a problem here. It's just huge. Absolutely massif. So next up we've got the suite neighbourhood. So this neighbourhood is just for those who are staying in suites. So it's a very fancy area, guys. It's actually over 3 different decks. Decks 16, 17 and 18 at the very front of the ship, just above the AquaDome area. On the lower deck, deck number 16, you walk in and you've got a little lounge area where you can come and relax, which is really nice. On your left hand side as you walk in, you've got the concierge desk. Now these are your suite concierge, so they'll help you with everything from booking meals, from organising things on board the ship. If you have any problems, you go there instead of guest services downstairs, so it's a lot quicker. Just further in, you've got a bar, which is really lovely as well. From 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. you get free drinks, so things like soft drinks, beers and some wines. Then there's a happy hour between 5 and 8 p.m. every day where you get cocktails and spirits included. At the very end of the lounge, you'll find a small area with a coffee machine and several types of snacks. You have snacks for breakfast time, which is very nice, so things like yogurts and croissants and donuts. Like I said, a coffee machine, which is really nice, and a tea machine. You just help yourself here. And then throughout the day, this changes to evening snacks and little things throughout the day like cookies. In the middle, you've got the Coastal Kitchen Restaurant. This is actually over 2 decks, so decks 16 and 17. And this is the suite restaurant for suite guests. So it has a different menu, which changes every single day, and it's on 2 levels, but the menu's just the same, and it's a slightly high-end version of the main dining room, so the food tends to be a little bit better. We wouldn't say that it's as good as maybe specialty dining, but it's not bad. It's definitely an improvement, but it's a lovely little space. The only downside with this whole area is that it's a little dark because it doesn't actually have any windows to the outside. It only has windows into the AquaDome, so you can see them rehearsing and things like that, but it would have been nice to have some maybe sea views, especially because you're paying such a premium to be in a suite on this cruise ship, and especially when you've got other ships like Norwegian ships and MSC ships that have beautiful panoramic windows where you can look out and enjoy those gorgeous views. That's the only downside, but on the other hand, it is nice to look in there, see the rehearsals and the shows and things going on. So the next part of the suite-only neighbourhood is on deck 18, and it's called The Grove, and this is the outdoor area, and it really is a departure for Royal Caribbean to have such a large, expansive outdoor area for their suites. It's really the only type of ship you're going to find this kind of space, and it's really lovely. As you walk in, you've got kind of like a seating area, and you can order snacks throughout the day. There is a little buffet at different times throughout the day. You can grab some waters, or there's also a bar as well, which you can go and treat yourself to. Obviously, drinks are still costing whatever they are elsewhere in the ship. They're not free because you're in a suite up here. Then you've got quite a large pool, which is very nice as well, surrounded by some nice, comfortable seats, some hanging seats, but that pool really isn't too bad. And then surrounding the outer edges of this deck, you've got lots of sun loungers, and what's really nice is that they're all really padded, so they're nice and comfortable, which is very nice. And to be fair, we've never really seen this area that busy, but we really haven't had the chance to spend much time here because the ship is so big. It's difficult to get everything fit in 1 week. You've also got a nice whirlpool, which is quite big. It's really, really nice. It really is. It looks very posh back here, and it is one of the nicer outdoor areas that we've seen on any cruise ship, really. And it's nice to see that Royal Caribbean are putting in the extra effort on their big ships like this. But yeah, lots of seating all the way around, some comfy sofas to sit on. This goes up to another deck, which is just really a sun lounging deck on the very top. So I guess deck number 19. How crazy is that? The ship has 20 decks. It is completely nuts. Lots of sun lounges here and some seats, and you get some great views of the rest of the ship, which is very lovely indeed. So it gives you a very nice vantage point across the whole of the ship because you are so high up, so you get views of all Chill Island, the Swim and Tonic and things like that, which is lovely. But yeah, this is a very nice space. It really is, and it's very large, which is good. So it does never get too busy, which is something great to see.
Now, leaving Chill Island, we're going into Thrill Island. This, again, another fun one for all the family. This is where you'll find all those water slides. There's 6 water slides on this ship, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. 6 water slides plonked on the top of the cruise ship. Lots of different types of slides, raft slides, drop slides, racing slides. Lots of fun as well. And the good thing is actually they are all included, so there is no extra charge for them at all. Around here you'll find plenty of towel stations as well, and around all the pool areas. You just use your cruise card to check out a towel, but do make sure you check it back in, otherwise you will be charged for it. Now, this Thrill Island area, busy, loud, but there is again lots of places to sit around. There's seats, there is sun lounges, there's also little cubby holes as well for you to store your shoes and your towels while you are going on the water slides.
This area is insane, and I do keep forgetting that we're actually on a cruise ship because it does look like a full-on water park. Lots of cruises have 1 or 2 slides on them. 6. How nuts is that? And it's so bright, so colourful. It is really cool, and the kids absolutely love it. Our nephews would adore being on here. At the very back of the ship, you've got the floor rider, which is the surf simulator. This is complimentary for shorter sessions, but you have to pay for some of the longer sessions. But they do get very busy, so if you do want to do them quietly, we recommend that you stay on a port day when most of the people get off, and then you'll be able to enjoy them at a lot quieter time. So there'll be less lines, less queues to get on board, and you'll get to do them all much quicker, which is really lovely. And like we saw earlier on with Chill Island, where you got some views of Central Park, you get some amazing views at the back of the ship, so down to Surfside. It's very cool, and again, it just shows you how big this ship is. It is completely and utterly crazy, guys. It's how they make these ships, I just don't know. The engineers are literal miracle workers. I bet it's all done on computer and stuff now, but it is crazy how it all comes together like a giant Lego piece. I still will never understand how this thing actually floats.
It is pretty much all going on over here at Thrill Island. This is where all the activities are, all the outdoor activities. You've also got mini golf, which is a complimentary. You just grab yourself a stick and a ball and play until your heart's content. It's really fun. And you also have base camp. So this is like an outdoor grill area. They do burgers, hot dogs, tater tots, little pretzel bites, again, all included and complimentary, and it also has a bar over there. Finally, if you want something sweet, there's also Deserted. It is an ice cream shop, but it is an extra charge. They do big ice cream sundaes in there. They have a lot of fun, they are very tasty, and they're great for Instagram as well if you want to share them online. But yeah, really loud and fun up here, and so much fun for all the family.
Also on Thrill Island, you have a sports court where you can play several types of sports throughout the day, and you also have the Crown's Edge, which is an extra pay thing where you basically walk off the end of the ship, which is pretty nuts. We've done it a few times on the other ships. It is a lot of fun, but it's kind of a one and done once you've done it. You also have a climbing wall back there. And then at the very back of the ship, you've got the Hideaway. Now, this is the adults only area, so it's for 18 plus only. As you walk in, you've got a few hot tubs, then some tiered seating. On one side, you also have a bar with lots of seating areas, nice comfy seating and chairs and tables where you can grab your favourite cocktail. Then in the middle, we have an infinity pool. Again, this is adults only. Scattered around the whole area and in the pool itself, you'll find several beds that are for hire. These are very, very expensive. They do come with things like water and towels, but you've got to book them in advance and they do sell out very quickly. But again, they are very expensive indeed. It is really nice that Royal Caribbean did do an adults only area on the ship, because I think it definitely needs one. But again, it is still very busy on a sea day. When we filmed it, it was a lot quieter, but it does get pretty packed in there. So that's it for our full tour and walkthrough of the brand new Legend of the Seas. So what did we think? Well, you're going to have to watch our future videos over the next 2 weeks to see exactly what we thought about the Legend of the Seas. I guess that's it till next time. Happy cruising!